On another matter, the Prime Minister's religion has been in the news this week. You're a Christian as well. When you were Prime Minister, did you have a sense that it was God's will that you were in that position?
Absolutely not. The idea that anyone leading a political party could believe that it is, God on our side is just the stuff of real danger, in my view. We are a proudly secular country where people who are agnostics, atheists, Christians, colourthumpians can compete for office in our secular national parliament. That's as it should be. And in fact, I think Mr Morrison and myself have radically different views on the role of Christianity in Australian politics, and I've been quite disturbed by the transcript of his recent speech delivered to a Pentecostal gathering on the Gold Coast in the last several days.
It's been pointed out by commentators that you regularly did doorstops outside the church that you attended.
Well, that's absolutely right. I made no apology for the fact that Therese, myself and our family are people of faith. Guess what? The media were never invited to those churches by me or my staff. They simply knew that church ended at a particular hour and began at a particular hour, so they would simply come along and throw questions at you as you left church and went to your car. That's exactly what happened. In fact, one day, Leigh, we discovered a journalist sitting in the pew behind us in St John's in Canberra just to get a story. So we were not in the business of having cameras anywhere near our private religious practices.
On the question of God's will, it is pretty standard belief for a devout Christian to believe that God is directing their lives and is personally interested in their lives. So is it really that controversial that the Prime Minister, a devout Christian, would believe that it's God's will and that he's doing God's work in the role that he's in?
Well, I think there's 2 or 3 problems with it. You see, Mr Morrison has never expounded in detail in writing the exact impact of his particular Christian belief on his political practice. Like me or loathe me, what I did prior to becoming Prime Minister was write a long essay in the monthly magazine called Faith in Politics, which basically lays it out in black and white as to my interpretation of what a Christian belief means in terms of political practice, which is about, frankly, the theology of social justice and the theology of environmental custodianship. Now, Mr Morrison has a radically different view of his Christianity, and he should put that in black and white. But when I see him say that it's somehow God's intervention to appear to him through the image of a portrait of an eagle, as if this is a reference to the prophetic writings of the prophet Isaiah in the Old Testament, I think that starts to get really wacky, frankly. And on top of that, to believe that you have some divine mandate as a Prime Minister to lay your hands on somebody without their concurrence or knowledge and pray for them when you're meeting and greeting or comforting them as Prime Minister, that's way in excess of your mandate as the secular Prime Minister of this country. And on those things, I fundamentally disagree with Mr Morrison. And I think most mainstream Christians in Australia would disagree with him as well.
Kevin Rudd, thank you.
Good to be with you.